As human beings, we make and work on decisions every second. When to do homework, exercise, change jobs, get married, and more. While there are many things to consider when making a decision, there's one factor that we tend to disregard: timing. We often underestimate timing as a decision-making factor by just going with our intuition and relying on our routine. This has been proven to be quite unproductive at times, such that when we do things without putting all our heart and soul into it, or so many factors are against us, we do not produce the same results as we would have if we were in a good mood or the timing is right. This is why Daniel Pink gathered scientific studies and showed the importance of considering timing when making decisions and forming routines. His book, When: The Scientific Secrets of Perfect Timing, gathered research from psychology, biology, and economics to highlight hidden patterns of the day or in life to make the ideal pattern, do your goals, or take the next step in your life. Here are the top 7 lessons from Daniel Pink's When. Lesson 1. Figure out your waves of the day. According to Daniel Pink, we all have waves of the day, or a cycle of effectiveness, where there's a certain time or period in a day where we go through 3 stages: a peak, a trough, and a recovery. At your peak time, you're most effective and focused on doing work. During trough time, you may become a little slow and tired. Lastly, recovery time is when you regain energy and focus, although not as high as during peak periods. To best know your waves of the day, try to track when your energy and focus throughout the day. This will help you later tailor activities to match the best time for those tasks. For most people, their peak, trough, and recovery periods are during the morning, afternoon, and evening, respectively. It might be different or the same for you, but Pink generally suggests you do analytical tasks during peak time, trivial tasks for trough time, and insightful tasks during recovery. Lesson 2. Drink coffee before taking a nap. A nappuccino, as Daniel Pink calls it, is a quick cup of coffee before you take a 20-minute nap. Studies have shown that this can boost your focus and productivity because it takes 20 minutes for caffeine to enter the bloodstream. Therefore, the caffeine will kick in by the time you wake up. It keeps you awake and readies you more for work. Lesson 3. Avoid making appointments and decisions in the afternoon. As mentioned earlier, during trough time, which is in the afternoon for most people, tasks get a little harder or tiresome to do. As a decision maker, you should avoid making decisions during this time to avoid regrets or bad timing later. Also, when it comes to depending on other people's decisions, avoid appointments at this time because they may also be less likely to make good decisions. Studies have shown that people commit more mistakes when they make decisions later in the day. This is evident in different fields, such as education, medicine, businesses, and the law. For example, doctors deliver more fatal doses of anesthesia. Students fail standardized exams. For most people, their peak, trough, and recovery periods are during the morning, afternoon, and evening, respectively. Thus, if you're given a choice to set a time for an appointment to meet them, you should opt for morning appointments to get the most of their attention, focus, and energy. Lesson 4. Know your chronotype. Your chronotype refers to your internal body clock. If you usually reach your peak in the morning, go through a trough time in the afternoon, then recover your mental focus in the evening, you're part of the 75% of the population who are larks or early birds. On the other hand, if you experience recovery first, trough second, and peak at night, you're a night owl or late riser. Knowing your chronotype is important because you need to match this with the time of day and task at hand. You'll later develop the intuition to do tasks related to the time and your energy on that given day. Lesson 5. Take restorative breaks. During trough times, it's essential to take restorative breaks, such as naps or walks between 10 to 20 minutes. Ideally, these should be done outside the office and with nature. But if your workplace does not allow these things, you can try stretching or chatting with your colleagues. If you feel that you need to continue working or complete deadlines during that time, you should keep a checklist to avoid any mistakes. Studies show that breaks can greatly improve your focus and decision-making skills. For example, students who took a 20-minute break before a test got higher scores compared to others. Parole judges also had different dispositions when they took breaks before a hearing in the afternoon, such that they're more likely to favor parole. Lesson 6. Create strong beginnings. When you start on any task, habit, or event, how strong or fresh the start is will have a huge impact on your attitude on that activity and overall success. Undeniably, people tend to get lost in the middle or in the trough period. When this happens, accept failure and make a fresh start. If you notice, teams behind by a point or two in games at halftime usually win at the end of the game. Researchers attribute this to the uh-oh effect, when people realize they're not making enough progress, leading them to exert more effort and create a fresh start. If you're thinking about a project or forming a new habit, Pink suggests there are 86 days in the year you can start to get the ignition going. 2 examples are the first day of the month, or on an anniversary. Lesson 7. End with a positive note. Since we were kids, we've loved the idea of happy endings. Research further shows that we tend to remember events based on how they end. This should guide you to make endings more memorable, so you can also make a new beginning with a happy heart. For example, if you're on vacation, you're more likely to enjoy and remember it if you plan or create an elevating final experience or stop. Likewise, in work, like listing down your accomplishments before you head out. Not only does this help you get ready for the next day or project, it will also make you grateful and powerfully recover motivation and energy to keep being productive. In conclusion, Daniel Pink's book shows us that each task has a lasting effect on our attitude and our success. When you do a task is just as important as what you do and how you do it. More importantly, you need to know yourself better, such as when you feel most active or not. So you also adjust your tasks and activities and reserve your energy for things that matter. You can also use the knowledge in Pink's book to get the most out of other people's time and energy, even through simple things such as setting appointments in the morning. Indeed, people who underestimate the power of timing should read this book. And note that while time waits for no one, you can sure get ahead of time with these lessons we've shared. Thank you for listening. If you like the book summary and you want to see more in this category, please like and subscribe so I can create more. You can also get a free copy of the entire audiobook by clicking the link in the description. Until next time.